so the A-shaped bar chord. Much like the E shape, the reason why it's called the A shape is because it's based on an open A chord. So if I take this finger in here, hopefully you can kind of see how that resembles an open A chord. But the big difference between the A and the E bar chords is that on the A we have actually two different fingerings that we could use, and I really think that it's worth trying to learn both of them. So let's have a bit of a close-up and see what's going on with the left hand. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the variation that looks closest to the open A chord as we're used to seeing it. And this is the fingering that uses all of our fingers. So the first thing we're going to be doing, just like we did with the E-shaped bar chord, we're going to be barring across multiple strings, but this time we're barring across 5 strings as opposed to all 6. So as you can see, my first finger when I'm playing this chord is just shifted down a little bit. Now this is because it's an A-shaped bar chord, which means that our root note is on the A string. So we're going to be playing at the 5th fret of the A string, which gives us the note D, which means we're going to be playing a D major chord. Now, a little thing to note about barring chords, A-shaped bar chords, is that we need to be muting the bottom E string. So how do we do that? Well, I'm slightly touching the bottom E string with the tip of my first finger. So here I'm barring all of the strings here, but the bottom string will not ring out. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, what we're going to do with our fingers, we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to pop it at the 7th fret of the D string. We're going to take our ring finger, we're going to pop it at the 7th fret of the G string, and our little finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the B string. So we've got 5th fret at the A string, 7th fret of the D, 7th fret of the G, 7th fret of the B, and then 5th fret of the high E string. And that's going to give us a D chord. Now, as I said, it's really important that we're muting that bottom string, because if we don't, just like when we're playing an open D chord, if we hear that E, it's just going to sound really bad. Now, as I said, I think this fingering tends to be a little less common. It depends on what styles you play. But there are some advantages to this fingering, so I do think that it's worth learning. So let's look at what I think is probably the more common one, which is instead of playing all the 7th frets on the D, the G and the B with separate fingers, we simply do it with the ring finger. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay your 3rd finger down and play the 7th fret on those 3 strings, so the D, the G and the B, all with a ring finger. So notice how my 3rd finger is in line with the fret. And I also use that finger to mute the high E. So in this fingering, I don't play the high E string at all. My fingers are just not flexible enough to be able to get that note. So I've got these 3 notes. So that's the start to get those 3 notes ringing out clearly. And then the next thing you need to do is pop your first finger at the 5th fret. Now, as opposed to the first fingering that we learned, the first finger doesn't actually need to bar here at all, because the only note we're looking to play is the 5th fret, which is the D. Again, I'm using the tip of the finger to mute the string so I don't get the bottom E string, but as I said, I'm not barring across all of the strings, there's just no need. So I'm just playing the 5th fret on the A string and muting the bottom E. So then I get this. Okay? Now, as I said, some people, I'm trying to tuck my middle finger down here just out of the way. When I'm relaxed, I tend to play the chord. This is what my hand looks like when I'm playing the chord here. Obviously, I don't want to be too confusing for the purpose of this instructional. So I'm just moving it out of the way so you can see what's going on. So as I said, first finger, no need to bar in this shape whatsoever. I'm just playing the 5th fret and muting with the tip. And then it's the 3rd finger that's actually doing the bar across the 3 strings at the 7th fret from D, G and B strings. Okay, so just like we did with the E-shaped bar chord, we're going to run through some different positions so we can learn where the different chords are. So again, you're going to need to note the notes on your A string. So what you're going to have is A is the open string, B is the 2nd fret, C is the 3rd fret, D at the 5th fret, E at the 7th, F at the 8th, G at the 10th, and then we're back to A at the 12th fret. So what you can practice doing is just trying to play your bar chords at each of those positions. So we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and then back to A. Okay, so let's check out the minor chord now that's associated with the A-shaped bar chord, and this is the A minor shape that we're going to use. We're going to do it at the 5th fret, so we're going to bar across 5 strings. Again, like the major shape, I am muting the bottom E string with the tip of my first finger. My ring finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the D string. The little finger is going to go on the 7th fret of the G string, and my middle finger is going to go on the 6th fret of the B string. And that gives us a D minor chord because our first finger is on the D. So it's pretty much the same shape as the E-shaped bar chord, but we're just shifting everything over a string and not playing the bottom E. So let's do what we did with the major shape and explore the different positions up the neck of the guitar. So we start off with A minor, B minor, so 2nd fret, 3rd fret, C minor, 5th fret, D minor, 7th fret, E minor, 8th fret, F minor, 10th fret, G minor, and then back to the 12th fret and A minor. So I really hope that that helps with your A-shaped bar chords. I've got another video coming up now where we're going to introduce a progression to help us practice all of the different bar chord shapes that we've encountered through the last few videos. So if you give us a like and subscribe, you'd be helping me out a ton, and I really look forward to seeing you again. Take care.